On, everybody.
All right.
On three.
Three,
2, 1.
Woo! Let's roll.
Let's totally roll.
Let's roll.
Go.
Woo-hoo, here we go.
Hi. Any questions? I'm really thrilled to be here. This is, as I said earlier, that there are many things that define a great city and a destination city. And, last week we celebrated the beginning of a major arts education initiative. That's part of attracting people to our city. But so is the physical landscape, and so is making a city bikeable and walkable. And I love the way that we're defining the downtown and the midtown here. People should be able to walk and bike from where they live to where they work to where they play. And this makes it not only more convenient, it makes it safer. I mean, the fact that you've got parked cars that are a barrier between the ongoing traffic and the people biking, I just think it's an elegant idea, innovative solution, and I'm very proud of the city, Public Works, Vice Mayor Hanson, and all the folks who really put this together.
Where's the whole bike lane located? Is it just this street here?
No. There are a number of different blocks. What's the scope? Do you know, Andrew, in terms of the actual scope of this? The entire length. But no, it's broader than just this. We'll get you the map.
Yeah, I saw one coming up 8th Street on the way here. So.
Yeah.
J Street
And we have more money under SB 1, which was the state transportation bill last year. That there is more state money coming to expand the network here. We want to grow out from the downtown and the midtown out into the neighborhoods as well. I've talked a lot about neighborhood-based economic development and economic inclusion. So the great ideas that sometimes get born in the downtown and the midtown, we need to get the resources to be able to expand them to other parts of the city as well. SB 1 is a start. It's the state transportation tax that will help fund more roadway transportation and bike safety. But we're going to continue to build this kind of an idea out. What works well here works well throughout the entire city as well.
Mr. Mayor, not to detract from the long list of safety and other benefits these bring, but any concerns that this will cause any backups with the car traffic?
Well, I don't think so, because it's still, maintains, like here on P Street here, a straight shot thoroughfare straight through. I don't think it should back up the traffic. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. I think once people get used to it, they'll adjust pretty easily.
Thank you.
Okay, guys? Thank you.
And this is Councilman, now Vice Mayor Steve Hansen, who helped lead the way on this project. Mr. Vice Mayor, how did you come up with the streets to put these lanes on?
Well, we've been working for years to redo our central city grid so that pedestrians, bikes, cars, everybody could coexist safely. These new parking protected bike lanes have been a real benefit to the community. Whatever age you are, whatever ability you are, you can use these. They're considered low stress because you're separated from the traffic. And as we build the city, add housing downtown, focus on the arts, we're also making sure that there's amenities for people that want to get downtown in ways other than driving.
What's been the response so far from the biking community?
Well, the biking community is elated, but what really has surprised me is that the residents in the neighborhoods have been really supportive as well. Sometimes you get a couple neighbors that are really upset, but one of the most heartfelt stories we've heard is of a 22-year-old disabled adult named Harper, who now gets to bike with her family because this is a safe place for her. And it's those kind of stories that remind us that our streets are for everyone.
And I do believe we have Harper's dad standing right over there.
There's Brad.
And we've lost one balloon, but
That's
there's
right.
always a casualty.
That's right.
So I imagine the neighbors are probably pleased with the benefit of having a safer walk to their cars when they go through a buffer zone rather than having to go right out in the middle of the street.
Yeah, the neighbors like it. They didn't lose parking. You never have to scratch your tire on a curb anymore. It does take a minute to figure out how to park in them, but they're very intuitive. We've done a ton of public education. We rolled out a lot of announcements in advance, and that helped people get ready. You know, there's still some people who live far away who'd like to be able to speed through here, but this is actually meant to slow people down, to get them to look, to see where pedestrians are, where the bikes are, so it's good for everyone.
Well, that just brought up something I hadn't even thought of. Makes me wonder how a car with automatic parking assist will respond to this.
I don't know. Thankfully, I rode my e-bike today, my jump bike that I picked up at one of our local racks, and so I don't have to worry about parking. For less than $4 an hour, I can zip around town to meetings and have fun.
Well, one of the questions I've had is if there's any concern about slowing down traffic on these streets, but that sounds like that's the idea.
Well, yeah, it's part of the idea. We studied these streets. There are too many lanes for most of the day, so people would just speed because it was comfortable, there's nobody else around you, and that's when you get in really horrible collisions because people are going too fast, they can't stop in time, and bam, somebody gets hit, hopefully doesn't lose their life. But these lanes, these parking protected bike lanes, are about 50% safer for pedestrians.
What about the peak times on places like H Street when it gets busy in the afternoons?
We adapt, you know, and I think as we build these neighborhoods back where people had left, now people are back. They love living in the central city because we have infrastructure like this.
All right, very good. Vice Mayor Steve Hansen, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Ryan.
And this is Brad Middlebrook, whose 21-year-old daughter, Harper, is going to be able to take great advantage of these lanes. Harper is autistic, and you said she operates at about a 3 to 5-year-old level?
Correct.
So what does it mean for her to be able to... Well, let me ask you firstly, what was her hesitation with biking before these new lanes were put in?
Well, before the lanes, we were riding typically on the traditional bike lanes, on the sidewalks, and back around Southside Park where it's not quite as busy. So the bike lanes have allowed us to go more places in a much safer environment.
Now, when it's that busy with somebody like Harper, I know sometimes I have a nephew who's autistic. Sometimes the wrong sensory input can really trigger some things. I mean, what kind of things did she go through when she was out here riding?
So we've been riding for about a year, and it's really transformed her life, just physically, emotionally, bike riding, getting out, expending some energy. A lot of individuals with disabilities don't get an opportunity to exercise as much as all of us. So what it's done is it's allowed us to bike in a much safer environment and get off the sidewalks, get away from the traditional bike lanes into a safer bike lane.
And I imagine that lower stress does wonders for her.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, I can only imagine the smile on her face as she rides on by.
Yeah, she absolutely loves it. She rides a tricycle, and we always have one rider in front of her and one rider in back of her. But she still requires 100% supervision. But just not having cars flying by on one side is much better. So I really hope that the program is expanded.
Well, and let me ask you in a broader sense, too, what it means for somebody like Harper just to be able to have a situation where they can relax.
Well, anytime an individual with a disability is able to improve their life, not only does she improve her life, her caregivers, her family, but the whole community improves. It's a community is measured on how you treat the less fortunate or the people that have challenges. So my daughter has really benefited by this.
Oh, I can only imagine. Now, we did the ribbon cutting today, but these have been here for a little bit. Have you had the chance to take advantage yet?
Oh yeah, we'll go down P and back up Q and then down 10th. We bike around the Capitol, and we've done it for weeks now. In fact, Now when we go out, she specifically asks to go on the bike lane. So it's been great.
Well, and the mayor talked about everybody adapting to the changes. It sounds like Harper's the one who adapted the quickest.
Absolutely.
Well, I look forward to seeing her out there for a ride. Brad Middlebrook, happy dad.
Thank you.
Thanks for that,
Very
Brad.
happy.